everyone. My name is Amanda Johnson. I am a marketer in the Life and Annuity Department. Thank you so much for clicking on this video today. This is just one of the videos in our new training series, so we're really excited to get that started for you all. This is going to be a pretty short video. I know that you guys have a lot going on, and I appreciate your time, so we'll just go ahead and get started. Term life insurance is what we're going to discuss today. Some of the things that we will cover will be, what does term life insurance cover in general? What are my options? What riders can I offer to my client? And what to expect during underwriting? I know there's a lot of questions with that, especially for COVID. And then how to quote and apply. So we'll be able to use our quote tool, and then you can see how that works and register. If you're not already registered, it's a really great quoting tool. What is term life insurance? So this provides coverage for a limited period of time. It guarantees that death benefit if the insured were to die in that specified time period. This is temporary coverage, but it is one of the best for clients, because it is one of the most simple options and inexpensive options as well. I mean, when you're looking at life insurance, there's a lot of products to choose from, and you can see how some of them really are pricey for a lot of clients, and this is one of the least inexpensive options if that's what you're looking for. What are my options? So the common term lengths that you normally see are 10, 15, 20, 25, or 30. We do have some carriers that do have it in annual increments. So you could do something as like a 17-year or a 13-year, 21 years. So that's kind of cool. Depending on how long you have maybe on your mortgage will determine how long of a term length that you want to choose. They do have 35 and 40-year options now as well. We only have a couple carriers that do that, but the fact that we even have that as an option is really awesome. And then the annual renewable term, I think a lot of people are already familiar with that. You're just paying for that every single year. You may only need it for a year or two, and that's why you choose something like this. It is one of the expensive options because that premium goes up every year. The older you get, the more expensive it's going to get. It's not really an ideal type of product. It's really for, it's a niche product is what I would call it, because it's not for everybody. You're more than likely not going to want to choose that, but it is there and available. What does term insurance cover? It covers a lot, but I just wanted to narrow down a few things that most people are going to be using it for, such as end-of-life costs like your funeral and burial expenses, day-to-day bills, utilities, clothes, school supplies, gas in your car. A lot of things happen and bills add up when a loved one is sick, and then when they do pass, you still have to deal with all of that that's there. So a death benefit from a life insurance policy can cover a lot of different aspects to your life. Mortgage protection being one of those. I know a lot of the time people think that term is just for mortgage protection, but as you can see, there's a lot of added features to it. It helps with debts like your credit cards or personal loans, car loans. Luckily, we don't have to worry about student loans. And then medical expenses. Medical expenses for, what may have happened prior to that client passing away, but even afterwards, and what the family will have to deal with once those bills start coming in. What riders can I offer? Again, there's just a few on here. There's a lot more that we can offer, but here's just some that I see on a daily basis. Children's term rider, return of premium, living benefits. I do want to stop just momentarily on that. Critical, chronic, and terminal. These are great benefits to have on a life insurance policy. And the fact that we have several carriers that offer these living benefits are really great. And I love to be able to talk about those. And if you are not promoting living benefits, give me a call and we can talk about that, talk about the carriers that you can utilize for it. I mean, it's a really great added feature. And there are several times that a company that has those living benefits might even be less inexpensive than the company that does not. So we'll see that too. Guaranteed insurability is another rider, waiver of premium, and accidental death. Again, side note, always more riders that we can offer. Just depends on the company, depends on the situation of the client as well. What to expect during underwriting. So everybody knows there's several different types of underwriting. You can do the simplified issue or the non-med option, and you can also do the fully underwritten. So simplified issue is not going to have a paramed or blood or urine. They will ask you additional questions. What they usually call is the Part 2 medical. They'll have your MIB ran, prescription drug check, and motor vehicle report. If something pops up there that gives them kind of a red flag where they feel like they would like to ask additional questions or get more information, such as medical records, they may do that. So there are times where we'll go with a simplified issue carrier and they may ask for more information, but at least they're doing that instead of straight defining a client. Fully underwritten is the other option. It is usually a less in premium than a simplified issue. You're paying for that simplicity. So if we do fully underwritten, you're going to have paramed, blood, and urine. An examiner can come to you, whether that's at your office or even at home, and complete all of that. They'll send it over to the insurance carrier. You don't have to worry about anything other than, taking care of the exam. They will also reach out to a primary care physician to get medical records. They may ask for additional records if you have specialty doctors. So do keep that in mind, that there may be more than one set of records ordered, which does take a little bit more time in getting your application processed and getting everything underwritten so you can get your approval. How to quote and apply. So I know I went through a lot of that information relatively quickly, but don't hesitate to give me a call and we can break down, the client and what their needs are, where we should go carrier-wise, and how we should start quoting. We do a lot of risk assessments. I do want to mention that. So feel free to give us a call or shoot us over an email with information on your client. We do like to have as much info as possible. So whatever they may have been diagnosed with, the dates of those diagnoses, any medications that they're on, height and weight, things that we should be really looking at that may be of concern to the insurance company or as an added risk. So that's all the information that we do want to know so that we can get them an accurate quote. We are going to do a quick quote here using our quote tool, iPipeline. I do want to mention that if you have not already created an account, please do so. You can just register as a new user. It's a really great tool to be able to utilize. You can run term and guaranteed universal life on this quote tool. Your username will always end in the numbers 5889. So for instance, Amanda Johnson, it's going to be A Johnson 5889. If you have a set of 4 numbers that are not 5889, that is used for another quote tool, whoever you may be working with aside from us. So it's a little bit different for everybody. So just remember ours ends in 5889. This is a different username and password than for the CSG quote tool that you may be using for Medicare or final expense, hospital indemnity. That's going to be using a completely separate login situation. So if you can't log in and it's because you're using your email address, that is incorrect. So just want to make sure everybody's aware of that. We are going to drop this down really quick and we are going to run a quote. All right. So once you're on the home page here, you're going to have some tabs at the top that you can choose from. We are obviously going to go to quoting, and then the drop down will say term/GUL quote engine. I was already logged in from earlier, so I didn't have to log in this time. I'm just going to run a quick quote on myself here, just for this purpose. So there's my date of birth that automatically puts in that I'm 31, age nearest 32, female, the gender, and choose my state here of Iowa. And once we get into product type, we've got term of simplified issue. We did talk about that, and GUL. The term of simplified issue, only certain carriers are going to generate on here. 1, because it is a simplified issue option that we're looking at. 2, not every company that we work with is going to be on this quote tool. If they don't allow iPipeline to put them on the platform, they won't be on here. we're going to go with term. I'm just going to choose 10, 20, and 30-year options for this video. But as you can see, there are several options you can choose from, and you can choose up to 5 when you're running these quotes. A death benefit, you can choose 3 different ones at once. I'm going to go in here and do 500 and $1 million. Oops. And here's the writers we talked about. There are several options. You can see that there are some that are missing. If you want to add things like the guaranteed insurability rider, you would have to use that particular company's website in order to do it. So only a couple different options are on here. This is really for a quick quote. If we really need to get into adding more riders and finding out what that quote would look like, give us a call and we can run those for you. We'll just use the company websites to do that. I'm going to go ahead and just leave riders off for this purpose. We're going to get down to underwriting information. We have enter health profile. This is where you can put in a height and weight if you'd like to. You can add some other health conditions if you'd like. I'm going to stick to just selecting a health class for right now and do standard. Again, feel free to register on this and play around. You can do a lot of cool things, a lot of filtering, and then I'll be happy to answer questions on that if you have any. I can choose the table ratings. Let's say we do a risk assessment on someone and come to find out they're table rated. We can choose some table ratings here and find out what's going to be that premium. So up here, we can change it how we would like to see that premium. You can see the 10, 20, and 30 are all next to each other here. You can go ahead and choose some different options if you'd like. Let's say I'm just gonna go through and do the top 2 or 3, and then I want to be able to compare this with my client. So I'm going to download a list report here and see if it'll pop up so we can save it real quick and pull it on up. And look at that. We've got some comparisons here. So this is actually really quick, really self-explanatory, but I love this quote tool. I think it's super easy to use, and it's a really fun feature that we have. And that you can run these relatively quickly for your client. That's about it, guys. I mean, there's a lot that we could go over. I'd love to go over if you want to give me a call, but I just wanted to get some brief information for you on term life insurance, how it works, and then also how to do some quoting. So here's all my contact information if you'd like to give me a call. We can run quotes, do risk assessments, go over products and carriers, whatever you'd like to do. We love to be able to work with you guys here, whether you're already an agent with us or thinking about becoming an agent. Give us a call. We can tell you exactly why you should work with Western Marketing. Thank you all so much. Have a wonderful day.